So finally, we have a lot of Marvel news to talk about. So at the Super Bowl, we got a teaser trailer for Loki and also The Falcon and Winter Soldier and also WandaVision, which comes out this year, which I make a slight mistake about because I didn't know. So we could be getting a lot of key Marvel news at the following date. The 4th of February, which is tomorrow as of the time of recording this video, we have the Disney earnings call. Then the 11th of March, we have the Disney annual shareholders meeting. And then the 30th of March, we have CinemaCon and we have the Disney presentation. They've got 2 hours and 45 minutes. So we should be hearing a lot of new details in the up and coming months, and obviously on Tuesday at the Disney earnings call meeting, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be anything massive. So this is when we can potentially hear some big news. So Captain Marvel 2 is officially in production and is expected to come out potentially in the year 2022. But for some reason, there seems to be this cancel culture. A lot of people want Brie Larson to be replaced. So I decided to ask a question on my Instagram stories, which is at WarStew, and we got over 50 responses about why people like her or dislike it. And then I put a community tab post out because I've been seeing a lot of weird articles from the social justice warriors, the YouTube channels that are so negative about Captain Marvel movie bombing and then makes over $1 billion, and they're like, no, it didn't make $1 billion, it was factually incorrect when it wasn't. So I came across this article that says Brie Larson's future Captain Marvel replacement may have been revealed. It seems like we live in a society where people read way too much between the lines and take everything out of context as facts, especially on the internet. So many rumors and half-truths end up on Twitter than in people's take in gossip without doing any research. Take, for example, the latest news that Brie Larson may have been replaced as Captain Marvel in the cinematic universe. This is true, sort of, but not to the extent that so many sites are reporting. Daniel, KRP, our good old friend Daniel, how you doing? Has made a tweet about MCU's future diversity. In it, he spoke about how the first team of Avengers are all white, but in the future, we have a black Captain America, Sam Wilson, Falcon taking up a mantle, a black Hispanic Spider-Man with Miles Morales taking over the Wallcrawler, and a black Captain Marvel as Monica Rambeau will eventually take over Auntie Carol. He also commented on the new Blade and the Asian Shang-Chi and the Muslim Miss Marvel also joining the MCU. Now this tweet of the future MCU was given a timeline. People decided this meant immediately for all three and jumped on Brie Larson is out of the bandwagon. Now, like I keep saying to you guys, anyone that watches me knows I do not sugarcoat anything. So yes, Daniel KRP may be an insider, but just because he tweets something does not mean this is directly coming from Marvel themselves. This guy is pretty decent, pretty cool source. He's got a lot of stuff wrong. He's got a lot of stuff right. Like every insider in the world gets stuff right and gets stuff wrong. But just because he tweets something does not mean it's right. Even if you got a verification badge, it literally means nothing. I'm verified and Vero, but I'm not really posted on there. So this is so it shows the tweet. Now, this is where the internet fails us because it's assumed this meant Larson is out immediately, fueled by misogyny rumors from websites that spout tons of negativity about Larson. However, Brie is locked into at least 2 sequels as well as an Avengers movie and possibly cameo roles in other movies. As far as we know here on this channel, she's got 7 appearances in total. Now, what is interesting to me is Brie Larson has won an Oscar at a young age. It took Leonardo DiCaprio to the age of 40 plus to get an Oscar. Now, people are saying she's got she's got no talent, she's irrelevant, she's won an Oscar really young, she's under 30, I'm pretty sure she's won an Oscar. So I don't really get where everyone is raged. The moral of this story here, boys, is don't try and read between the lines. Don't believe everything on the internet. Daniel KRP was not stating Larson is out. He was simply stating that when her contract's up, Marvel has an established replacement ready to go, like Chris Evans' Captain America. But I gotta say, the future of MCU, it looks bright. So this was a article on Screen Rant, which I found very interesting, because if you go on YouTube and type in Captain Marvel is over, you get a lot of this, you know, social justice warrior YouTube channels that kind of spout that she's irrelevant and why Captain Marvel is being cut out the franchise. 999,000 views 8 months ago. Yeah, they've not been cut out. Is Captain Marvel over? Brie Larson's removed. Captain Marvel removed from Disney+. There is so much stuff on the internet that's factually incorrect. So many videos. There's this clown person here. It's actually called Clownfish TV. Captain Marvel is dead, but media won't stop talking about her. How is Captain Marvel dead? We need to step back a bit, because what people don't realize is Brie Larson is a person in real life. Captain Marvel is a character, a actor that is playing a character. You don't have to like who Brie Larson is as a person to like her in the Captain Marvel role. Now, a lot of people can't tell the difference between an actor and a role they're playing, which makes no sense to me. So at WarsChew on Instagram, so I put an Instagram story up, and I purposely said this was going to be for a video, and I got over 50 responses. So let's just go over a few of them. And the question was, why don't you like Brie Larson? And here's one. I don't hate her, but I think it's because she wants to make everything she is feministic. And there's another one. Because of her public push on female representation, which gets in the way of her career. She's won an Oscar, bro. She's won an Oscar. Because she's way too political. Because what she stands for is not Captain Marvel. The male version is what? Why is people talking about the male version? MCU does not do comic book stories. Their stories are not based on comic books because they always change them. I like her a lot. Maybe because they don't like her attitude or selfishness. She's a badass. She's boring. I like her, actually. So the comments on here on my stories are very different. Force feministic message, too cocky, a little too cocky than the comic version, can explain in detail. So she's too serious, I guess, never heard of hate. So what is interesting is you see a lot of people saying, oh, she's out. But from my audience and what I've put out, there isn't anyone saying she plays the role badly. Now let's go over to the YouTube community tab. Now I posted this a few hours before I recorded the other half of this video. She was bad and her attitude is disgusting. I don't really think she was bad in Captain Marvel or EndGame. She is telling a story. She does not write on the script. She's got nothing to do with it. She turns up and does a job. So I don't really understand that. It's not that I don't like her, but to sandwich her in between the two biggest Avengers film, it fell off, especially because the role in EndGame. You EndGame Infinity War with such a big cliffhanger, calling her back for backup, not dislike, just off. I mean, like I said, guys, these comments are very different. The reason people don't like Brie Larson, Captain Marvel, is because she is an overpowered Mary Sue who doesn't have to prove anything and has no emotional flaws, even though she goes through an arc and her characteristics are not that interesting. Because she's a horrible actor, yet she's won an Oscar, which, yeah, okay, winning an Oscar doesn't really mean much in the 21st century, but it means she's got some credibility as an actor. The story of the movie is stupid. The only reason it made money the way it did was because of the other redeeming factors of the movie. Samuel Jackson, even the story of his eye is stupid. Okay, most of these responses for people not liking Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, there's not really much in it, so to speak. So it is interesting how most of these comments, there's not really an argument. Not sure why people don't like her, but I'm not of one of them, nor have ever was. I found the movie to be fun, entertaining, a great cast, effects, and Brie as Danvers is a joy to watch. I got the movie on Blu-ray because I enjoyed it. I think she's a very good actress. So, like I say, guys, there's this cancel culture. Let's cancel Brie Larson, Captain Marvel, because she's more successful than you. The only reason I can see is why some females don't like it is because they're like, maybe they're jealous because she's more successful than them. There's really no argument. I don't understand why people want to cancel Brie Larson as Captain Marvel when realistically she's not had a chance to stand out as herself. I mean, I get it. She is kind of overspeaking in interviews, but to go and make out, like, there's endless articles saying that Brie Larson is out. There's even it's not like a GoFundMe, but essentially it is a poll to get Marvel to fire Captain Marvel. I don't really understand. So let's see what happens when you Google Captain Marvel Brie Larson. Marvel reportedly plans to replace Brie Larson as Captain Marvel. Now, this is the worst website, the worst credibility in the world. Comment down below. It's from the same person that spouts all this rubbish. And again, right, they are using Daniel KRP as evidence. Okay, the same about the diversity. And it says, furthermore, when asked for clarification about Brie, in particular what's going on with her, Daniel KRP made it clear as his intentional tweets implies Monica will replace her for some reason, and now the tweets are deleted. Now, just because Miles Morales might be coming in MCU, that's probably not going to happen because Sony owns Miles Morales, so I don't really get where you're doing that. So let's say Marvel fires Captain Marvel, Brie Larson. They are going to have to pay her for everything on the contract without her doing it. Do you really think they're going to give her the money of her wages for 6 more, okay, let's say 4 or 5 more movies without her even doing it? So Marvel are not going to pay her for 5 movies without her doing the movies. So I really don't get this kind of narrative that, you know, the Captain Marvel Brie Larson's train over, when realistically I think she's got a pretty decent fan base. So let's see what else Google has about Brie Larson, Captain Marvel, and let's see what Mary Sue websites are trying to cancel culture her, which I don't really get it. Fans want Brie Larson replaced as Captain Marvel. Okay, really? A black Captain Marvel is reportedly in the works at Marvel. I mean, Captain Marvel Brie Larson has some demands to return. I mean, like, some demands to return. Captain Marvel Brie Larson has some demands to return for Avengers 5. And then you go on said website. I mean, there's so many bad websites. And you click on the actual article, guys, and there is no actual demand. The actual link is from a website, and it says, she wants more money to return. She made more money than Robert Downey Jr. made for Iron Man 1. So it's just social justice, like Mary Sue websites just saying, she's out, she's out. That's not what was said. And let's click on this kind of, a black Captain Marvel is reportedly replacing her. Let's see if they're using the exact same quote again. Okay, so this website has even less credibility. I really don't understand how all these websites keep sourcing the same source. And it's not even Daniel KRP this time. It is a website that I don't like to give any credibility to. Captain Marvel is the subject of controversy. Yes, if you see the controversial YouTubers who like to do stories about everything controversial, because if you talk about controversy, you get more clicks. Now, I'm going to have to use some title like Captain Marvel is officially being replaced or something like that to get you to click in, to get my point across. So, guys, this is nonsense. And there's even a petition on the website. We need Brie Larson to step down as a role. She is an ally of social justice and ensure a gay woman of color plays the role. Let Monica, the original female black in Captain Marvel, instead of this whitewashing character for all benefits of straight white men ruining Disney. She hasn't donated money to any charity other than motion picture. I mean, just because you've got a lot of money doesn't mean you need to give it away. That's like saying every single human being in the world has to donate money to charity. That's not really the case. So like always, guys, let me know. Should they replace Captain Marvel based on nothing? Daniel KRP's comments were based on what he was thinking. He has not been told that that's what's happening. I don't know why people take insiders saying something as factual speaking. Like, it's not factually true. If an insider says something, it doesn't really mean anything unless it's on, I don't know, like comicbook.com or some website. So like always, guys, let me know what you think down below, and I will catch you in another video very soon. Catch you later.